Hi, I'm Inge, Head of Design from Brasserie Barker. One of our favourite tricks in our brasseries is bringing the outside in. It makes people feel happier and more special. So today we're going to look at how you can do that at home. We're going to make some garden posies, and we're going to look at how you can up your posy game by just adding a few extra foraged grasses and even herbs from your garden. The trick to getting that really desirable undone English look is not to get too fancy with the containers or the arrangements. Let them be messy and organic. Here I'm starting by anchoring into a little metal flower frog, some rambling rose branches, adding a couple of peonies, which will open up really beautifully and nicely. I'm also adding in some aromatics here, some lavender, a little bit of lemon balm, and that also adds some greenery, a little bit of fresh mint if you have, and some flowering sage, which adds a bit of colour and height. I'm also adding in a touch of bay leaves because that helps keep the flies away, and then just to finish it off, a larger rambling rose blossom. Beautiful rambling green, some pops of colour and a gorgeous scent. One of my favourite tricks is to use actual jam jars or even washed out tin cans before you recycle them. Here I'm weighting the heavier flowers down with a little metal flower frog. I'm grouping the blossoms in threes in a sort of triangle, that always works, and then I'm filling in with some more bushy greenery, some mint, some lemon balm, some lavender, all for the aromatics and the smells, and this really elevates your jam jar posies. And then I'm going to add a few grasses for some height. And just to take a tiny little bit of tongue-in-cheek elevation here, a nice little velvet ribbon. Here I'm going even simpler. I've just taken one rose off the bush and left the rest out there to enjoy, but I'm elevating it by a couple of really tall, simple grasses. Look at that, beautiful. Instead of throwing away shorter blossoms because they won't fit in a vase, get tiny little antique tea glasses or shot glasses or tiny little jam jars and pop a single blossom in there. And whenever you're doing bigger vases, you strip the bottom leaves down, so don't throw them away, use those to accent the blossoms. These are just perfect for a bedside table or a bathroom sink. You can also put them in little groups of threes and juxtapose the beautiful rose blossoms with something a little wilder, like grasses and sweet pea sprays. And even a few little daisies. For something even simpler, put a single sweet pea blossom in a recycled soda jar and line 3 of them up together to make a really lovely little display. Here I'm going a little bigger and a little wilder. I'm using an old olive oil tin that I've cleaned out, but they're really pretty colours and I like juxtaposing the old tin with beautiful fresh flowers and herbs. So I've used a metal frog in the bottom because these are taller stems of flowering sage, granny's bonnet, a little bit of valerian, and once again just adding in some lovely aromatics like mint, lemon balm, even basil, bay leaves. These all help keep flies away actually, which is a bonus, and I love that. Always a little bit of white and green finishing off with some really lovely unstructured rambling roses there. This is a similar tin, same size, but instead of going up, I'm going sideways. So when you're going up with the container, try and make your flowers about 2/3 larger than the container. That seems to keep it balanced. This is going sideways, so I'm trying to have some movement from left to right instead of doing it perfectly symmetrically. And these are just some really delicate little blossom branch sprigs. Added in a few extra sweet pea blossoms, and just giving a little bit of extra height and texture with some grasses. The trick here is not to try for perfect balance. The perfection is in the imperfection, and that's where the beauty lies. Now we're getting to the last few dregs of the foraged grasses and herbs and blossoms, but don't throw anything away. The simplest little grass stems can make a beautiful arrangement. Fiddle around with different sized containers, and that can really make a difference. These grass stems were too short for the other bottle, so I've just put them in a water glass. Look how beautiful they are. And even the tiniest little sprigs I don't want to throw away, so I'm putting those in a little shot glass, and then if you group them with your other bottles and glasses, nothing goes to waste. I hope you've enjoyed our demo of all the different lovely, wild, unstructured, undone arrangements you can make with just a few blossoms from your garden, some wildflowers, some herbs, and some foraged grasses. And there really is no end to where you can use these. Put them on kitchen sinks, end tables, ottomans, shelves, stand them on a pile of books, run a whole length of them down your kitchen table. They really just add beautiful scent and a little bit of brightness and also softness to every room. I defy you not to smile at a blossom in a bottle. Or indeed a tin can.